guys, welcome back. No, I'm Adam Kovic.
And I'm Bruce Greene.
And everyone's mad at Battlefront.
This is why we can't have nice things, Internet!
And screw you, the Internet!
Well, we are part of it. Anyway, so it didn't take very long, guys.
No, not at all.
In under a week, Star Wars fans went from excited to outraged over Star Wars Battlefront.
But this game was the chosen one!
And apparently it's terrible, just like Episode 3.
Hold on a minute, Internet. You haven't even played it. You haven't even seen it yet. I saw it!
Bruce did see it.
I watched the pre-alpha PS4 gameplay, and it looked pretty cool to
Did it
me.
look like pre-alpha?
Yes, it looked like a pre-alpha PS4 game.
Did it look like a game that's only been in development for maybe 9 months? Maybe, you know.
No, it actually
looked.
looked better than that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
That's
so
good.
all you malcontents on Reddit, you've not seen the game or played it, so you don't know yet.
So let's go all the way back to how this issue originally started. It was with the Battlefront trailer that came
Sure.
out last week during Celebration. It's obviously not gameplay and doesn't actually announce much about the game. It's
true.
You can shoot guns, and there's that weird-looking dude from Empire or Jedi goes.
Oh, yeah, neat enough. As such, the internet set to dissecting every frame of it, trying to figure out as much as they could about the game. Lawrence, did they dissect a lot of it or no?
Sorta. So they interpreted as much as they could from the trailer, and there were little bits and pieces of interviews here and there. Different websites had different information. So the internet took it upon themselves to collate all that information into a handy graph showing you how terrible the new Battlefront will be, because that's what they do. This shitty part is, this graph is kind of wrong. A lot of it is not accurate.
True.
Some of it is and some of it's not. And we take it upon ourselves to tell you guys the difference,
Yeah.
because you guys need actual information, not shitty internet shit. The problem is, like, a lot of you guys have been circulating this information, telling each other this game will be terrible, smugly pointing out that a game you haven't seen and even played will be the worst thing ever, because EA's awful, right?
Like Episode 3, that's the easy target.
Yeah, I don't know if they're awful all the time. So now we get it from a certain perspective. It's been almost 10 years since the last Battlefront game. A little desperation is understandable.
Of course, totally. Still, there's a lot of crappy info circulating out there, so let's take a look at what Battlefront will have and won't have based on actual information, and what it might have based on actual speculation.
All right, Lawrence, why don't you start with the planets?
Okay, yeah, so this is the big thing that everybody's mad about. They're saying there will only be 4 planets and 8 maps. Part of that's accurate. There will only be 4 planets to start, with Battle of Jakku being a 5th planet. But the 8 maps thing is just straight up wrong. According to Dice the Biking Viking, he claims to be a DICE producer, and he's actually been active for a long time on Reddit. He's basically acknowledged to be, yes, this guy works at DICE. He says, quote, there will be multiple maps per planet, and specifically, quote, there will be more than 8 maps.
Okay, that's
Makes
good.
sense.
That's good.
I mean, with Battlefield, though, the maps scale regardless.
They do,
right?
that's true, you're right.
So you can take a giant Battlefield, and then you can scale it down to 2 or 3 different ways. They've been doing that since Battlefield 2, so this isn't really anything new.
Yeah, so if you're assuming the multiple means 2, then yes, the game would ship with 8 maps at least.
Yeah.
I think they're going to give us more than 8 maps.
We've already disproved the magical infographic from 9.
There you go.
Take
So,
that.
so for reference, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare shipped with 13 maps, and it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, also to counter that, Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a fucking great game, and people love it, and they just play Dust.
There's only like 4 maps.
Dust 2.
There's or Dust 2, yeah, Dust, whatever, who cares? There's like, I don't know, 20 maps I want to say in that game, and we always play Dust 2.
Yeah,
It's
we got
always
Cobblestone, and we're like, what the fuck? No,
nobody wants
no,
that
go
game.
back to Dust.
Yeah, so as far as player counts go, yes, Battlefront will only support 40 players maximum.
So yeah, this can go either way.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to see massive battles, of course, but we've also seen huge player counts go sour really fast. And so before you say that we're shilling out for DICE,
You're shilling out for DICE!
Just
here's how. This is coming from actual Battlefield fans. We play a lot of it.
So from the sounds of it, maps in Battlefront will play similarly to the rush mode in Battlefield. Why is that, Lawrence?
Just because of the description that you guys saw in the gameplay. There was the AT-AT, which yes is on rails, but it's moving towards an objective, and then once that phase of the map is over, you guys move inside the shield generator and keep playing there. It just sounds like Rush, and we don't know that it's going to be, but we've had some sour experiences with gameplays like that with a lot of players.
I have.
If you played Battlefield 4 on PC, you ever tried playing 64 v 64 in Rush?
It's a clusterfuck.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck.
It's the worst thing.
Yeah, during the alpha and the beta on Metro, we had such a hard time.
It's rough.
It just it's bad. It's like too much. It's usually quantity versus quality at this point.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people all crammed into one space, and everybody sprays bullets, and everybody dies, and it's not really fun. It's not objective-based fun.
Sounds like stormtroopers to me.
What is Spool doing?
I don't know. More players isn't always better. The right amount of players makes the game mode work or not work, and we trust that DICE knows how to make the right call.
Right. Also, you ever play games like Max,
No.
Planetside 2?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, more players means bigger maps, and that means more downtime because there's more loading.
Yeah.
Recent DICE games basically trying to get you into the action as quickly as possible, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
especially, I mean, with fucking GTA 5 just finally coming to PC, it's just finally getting online quickly.
Yeah.
We had years of just slow load times.
So back to that graphic. When it comes to all the checks and X as well, those are all accurate. The game won't have space battles, which sucks.
Totally.
Although, I think those are coming eventually here. It won't be natively moddable. We don't know that yet.
Probably,
But
yeah.
probably, which sucks. It won't have Galactic Conquest. What's that, Lawrence?
This was a mode from Battlefront 2. Basically, you would play a series of maps in order, and if you were playing, like if your side won those maps, you would get certain boosts in later rounds.
Like Evolve, story mode or whatever.
Yeah,
Actually
sure.
sounds a
I
lot
mean,
like it.
Yeah.
it's a cool idea, and it's a way to frame the game to make you maybe play more or freshen it up a little bit, but it doesn't make or break the game, really. I don't think so.
And then it also won't have instant action. I don't remember even what
I
instant
don't
action
remember
was.
these. I played Battlefront 2 a lot. And I don't
Instant
remember
action
these.
basically let you set up a map rotation. That was it. You could set up maps in a certain order and play through them. Yeah.
Wait, what happens after a match ends? I mean, like
You
with
play the next map. in a
Instant
rotation.
action.
So it's the same thing?
That's what every server does
I'm
on every
confused.
multiplayer game. All right, so
All right. Yeah, so you're right. No space battles does suck. It's Star Wars.
It
We
does.
should have space
We love
battles.
space, yeah.
And we really love space, so that's a bummer. But really, is anyone surprised about mods at this point?
I'm not.
Not a lot of games come out of the box with any sort of mod support unless it's like exclusively on Steam or something like that.
Yeah.
But this is an Origin game, so it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's also the online component. Just, I don't know. I mean, look at GTA 5, though. It's super encrypted.
Jeez.
Very mod unfriendly, but people are getting to mod it and do stuff, you know.
they're
As long
going
as-
to get to it.
as long as you do it offline, I don't care. Just don't fuck with me online. Like, if we're gonna get competitive with it, I don't want people cheating. Basically.
Yeah, Galactic Conquest could have been cool, maybe reimagined for modern times.
Yeah.
Something like the faction system in Mortal Kombat X, maybe? I mean, and that one's kind of a bummer they don't have that. So.
And moving on, when it comes to vehicle and infantry types, we need to remind ourselves that DICE hasn't said anything
That's true.
about any of that stuff.
That's true.
And furthermore, we know that this stupid image is wrong because Bruce can confirm that the speed bikes and the ATSTs are drivable.
Yes.
So you can pretty much just suck that one.
So here's what I saw in that pre-alpha PS4 gameplay. The player that you were playing in the gameplay didn't hop into those vehicles, but I did see gamer tags above the speeder bikes and the ATSTs.
It wouldn't be a Battlefront game if you couldn't get into the vehicles, especially made by DICE. You should expect this.
Yes, and obviously, yes, the AT is on rails, but we speculate it might actually be like the AC-130 from Battlefield.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it just goes around, you spawn in it. When you kill it, it'll respawn after a little while. That kind of makes sense. Because it'd be too OP if you're just driving that thing around the woods.
Lawrence, what about that DLC comparison?
It's, I guess, technically fair, but it also willingly ignores a big part of the game. So we're getting the Battle of Jakku, which is kind of monumental if you think about it. This is a huge battle in the canon of Star Wars, and you'll only get to play it in a game. Star Wars games so far basically only copy things that you see in the movies.
Right.
This is unique content that you get to experience in the game first, and only in the game.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. And it's also free.
Yeah, it's free. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you still have to buy the game, right?
Well, yes, it comes with the game. Yes, of course.
Nothing's free.
Also, the 5 DLC thing is completely false. EA or DICE hasn't said anything about a premium, anything about 5 DLC packs. I have no idea where people are getting that from.
Yeah.
They haven't announced a thing about paid DLC yet. So.
My guess is I think they're going to go with premium, just like they will with the other. I mean, that's,
totally.
that's what DICE does, which doesn't bother me. Premium's always sort of delivered for me on the other Battlefield games, so whatever.
And when it comes to playable eras, are you guys really chomping at the bit to play the Battle of Naboo again?
Joel, is it
Really?
champing at the bit?
It's champing. It's champing, not chomping.
I don't care, Joel. I mean,
What's the
it's prob-
difference, Joel?
It's a Star Wars, right?
Horses.
So no, they don't want to play Battle of Naboo. Nobody wants to play Battle of Naboo anymore.
But you can play as Jar Jar and his best friend.
Stop talking about that.
The other Asian stereotype or black stereotype. I forget what they did there.
Newt Gunray.
I don't know. There's weird fat fish people underwater. There's no consistency in that movie. Anyway, I have some final thoughts for you guys. I just want you all to keep something in mind. We haven't had a Battlefront game in like 10 years. And for a while, it was looking pretty doom and gloom for the franchise. We thought it was dead in the water. LucasArts was doing some really weird shit with their IP. We had nothing but Force Unleashed games
Yes.
and Star Wars motherfucking Connect.
Yes!
So come on, let's just look at the big picture real quick. So the EA and Star Wars deal is only 2 years old at this point. It was announced in 2013. Since then, we already have a new movie coming out this year and a game coming out this year.
That's good.
Both, in my opinion, look to be like the best thing since the animated Clone Wars,
Yeah.
which I freaking love. So considering how long this stuff used to take, I am goddamn excited.
Yeah, for sure.
And I understand that people will be mad because a new game isn't the old game that they played, or at least they claim to have played. But it is a start. It's a start to a new era where Star Wars games are good again. Maybe light on some of the content at first, but good. It's a good video game made by good developers. That's what I'm grateful for.
Add up.
All right, Lawrence, do you want to talk to the internet too?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is DICE. They haven't made a bad game in a long time.
That's true.
They've been capable stewards of Battlefield, which is something they created. Each game adds something new and kind of builds upon the last one. And Battlefront is a reboot, so stop comparing it to the old ones.
Yeah.
They're the best developers to take on this project. And they probably should have been doing it ever since it started.
Yeah,
because they did such a good job with Battlefield.
Absolutely. Sorry, LucasArts, RIP.
It was actually Pandemic who did it originally, but even then it was like, they were a product of their time more than anything. But we've moved on. This is a new era, and I think, honestly, for big-scale warfare,
DICE knows how
DICE
to do
is
it.
perfect.
Yeah, DICE knows how. Ultimately, we think that DICE, the Viking, hit the nail on the head here on Reddit. He says, quote, "It's reasonable not to jump to conclusions, yes. If you feel like, oh, well, I haven't seen gameplay yet, so I won't commit to beginning this game, that's fine.
Oh, totally.
It's unhealthy if you make conclusions or assumptions based on lack of data, however. Game will be like this, or game will not do this, when you have no tangible evidence or facts to base it on. If so, then we could all just go around and make stuff up and have non-constructive discussions around that."
Viking,
Nice job,
everybody.
Viking.
Wow.
Everybody's dropping the mic today.
Yeah.
Hand me that razor. I'm going to drop the mic. It's behind the monitor there. Behind the monitor.
That's a mouse.
That's a mouse.
It's behind the monitor. A monitor is a
camera.
screen.
This is what Adam just did.
That's mine. Oh.
And then this is what Lawrence just did.
Ah.
And this is what
It hits the ground so hard.
Dice the Viking just did.
Oh, God.
Please like and subscribe if you'd like me to drop that microphone some more.
Please stop dropping my stuff.
Oh, it's
Give it to
all
me.
dented.
Give it to me!